Welcome back to the Penny Collector. It's been a while. So I filmed quite a few videos with the wheat pennies from the local dealer as well as a few penny boxes. But it took a while for the bank to get more boxes, so I've been kind of waiting for these to come, so I've been staggering the videos I have made. Anyway, finally, back to the penny boxes. I'm excited. These are always so fun because they don't really cost you any money and you just never know what you're gonna get. So let's dive on into this one. Hopefully it's got a really good mix, maybe some older stuff. And here it is opened. They're all on their side, so yeah, they're circulated. Cool. All right, exciting. Just like I usually do with the other ones, I'm not going to show you everything. I'm just going to bring you in whenever I find something, whether it's a wheat penny, an error, defect, a cool variety, or just something interesting. So yeah, let's dive on into the first roll and see what this box has for us. So I'm 3 rolls into the box, and I brought you in because I haven't found anything older than 82. So it looks like this box is going to have mostly rolls that are from coins returned to the bank after somebody pulled all the copper cents out of it. So kind of a disappointment in that I might not see a lot older than 82, depending on how many of those rolls are from ones that were returned without the copper coins in them. But it does kind of focus then on the more recent ones, and I'm seeing a lot of 80s. So that's still nice for varieties. There's a lot of cool varieties and errors in the 80s. So still makes for an interesting hunt. It's just, unfortunately, probably not going to see a lot of copper cents. Might not even see any wheat cents. So I have the first possible find. It's if it is something, it's very weak. So it's a 1989 Denver, and if you look at it, see it's got this little weird hook thing going on there, and then you can see this line going across the D, and then up here it looks a little thicker than normal, kind of like almost a split there, but it's hard because it's really dark there. I need to get a better microscope. It's a decent microscope, but I'd really like to get a good one, so hopefully in the future I'll get a better microscope. But it kind of looks like it to me, like something weird's going on. Now, the reason I spotted it is because after seeing a lot of 1989 Denvers, you notice when one looks different than the others. And so yeah, see that little forking right there, that little split, whatever you want to call it, splitting, and then that weird line across, and then different up there. So if it is anything, it's probably the RPM 009, which, can you see that kind of that split going up it, and it just looks kind of thicker. So if anything, it might be that, but if it is one, it's a very weak one, and it's very, very difficult to tell. I will put that in my maybe pile. Okay, I'm bringing you in just to point something out. So I'm only 5 rolls in, so still early in the box, and I'm getting an abnormally high amount of mid-80s to lower 90s, mostly the mid-80s range with a lot of 89s and 90s, and a lot of them have been in really good condition. My guess is that somebody had a kind of a coin dump. They had a bunch of coins that they had saved from the kind of the mid-80s to early 90s, and then took them back to the bank, because normally you don't have this abnormal high amount of 83s, 84s, 85s, all the way up to 89 and 90. 90 is usually where it ends. So very interesting. And some of the 90s and 89s and 84s have been in really good condition. So interesting. And finally got my first copper cent. First pre-1982, and it's a 66. So we will get a few coppers, which I would expect, even with somebody returning a bunch of coins that had no coppers in it. Because these get mixed and re-rolled and sent back out, you should still get a few coppers in it every now and then. Well, now I'm looking at that 1966 and potentially something interesting. So it looks normal except for right there. So this could just be damage. It could be damage that pushed the copper in that direction, or it could be a die break. It may have broken in that pattern, which if it did, that's a really cool pattern to break in. So Just because it might be a die break, I'll hold on to it. But this coin is really damaged. I've looked all over the coin and there's damage everywhere, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was damaged, but it just looks so cool. I really hope that's a die break. Okay, I wanted to show you what I mean when I said so many things from the mid 80s and stuff. So I got a few more copper ones in this one, 79, 80, 82. But look at that stack of 83s and look at the condition of that 83. And I mean, they keep going condition-wise. 84. I mean, look at that 85. Look at those 88s. So these conditions are fantastic. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that. And then when you get up here, we don't get a lot from the 90s. These are kind of early 2000s. Still get plenty of those, the 2020, the 20s and the 2010s and stuff like that. Still get a decent amount of those, but so many 80s and in such good condition. Okay, I'm on the final roll of the first row, and I very seldom see anything older than 82. I think I found a total of like 5 or 6 that are copper. And then out of the blue, we actually get a wheat penny. It is a 1948 Denver in pretty rough condition. See if I can get that focused for you guys somewhere. Anyway, yeah, 1948 Denver wheat penny in rough shape. So I've got a bit of a strange one here. So here it's a 1992 Denver. So with these zinc pennies that are coated with copper, very often you'll get this separation where when it gets minted, right, the copper plating kind of slides a bit and you'll get breaks in it with the zinc. And you see it really good over here on the United part. See that? See how the copper's separating away from the zinc? So that happens a fair amount. And this one's actually pretty cool. I like what it does to the UNN on this one. But that's not what caught my eye. What caught my eye is the 1 cent part down here. Look at this E. See that? That weird line there? And then on the E, that part of the E. And then look at the bottom part of the E. The top part of it's like just worn away, maybe from heavy polishing. So is this just heavy polishing, or is it maybe a die break? What's going on with this? It's really weird. See that? Maybe heavy polishing on that part anyway. But the part of the E's is really weird. And it happens on both E's in a very similar manner, which makes me think it's not just damage post-make. Huh. Let me know what you guys think. Is this just heavy polishing? Is it some kind of die break? Or is something else going on? And that's the only places I really see it are the 2 E's and the C. I don't really see it anywhere else. Okay, maybe the bottom of the T. Something weird going on at the bottom of the T. Huh. Okay, I'm still moving right along. I'm most of the way through row 2. Still finding a lot of those 80s. This one had a lot of 83, 84, 85 so far. But look at that. Once again, I find very little copper coins, but out of the blue, a 1948 Denver wheat penny. Huh. That's cool. That's 2 wheat pennies, and I really didn't think I'd get a single one because of the lack of copper in here. Cool. The rolls seem to be picking up a little bit of heat. This is the next roll right after that wheat penny I just got. And it's another wheat penny. Wow, maybe we're going to start seeing some. Which one's this? Another 48 Denver. I wonder, are they all 48 Denvers? The second one was. No. Yeah. All 3 are 48 Denvers. So, again, maybe it's part of the same collection dump. Maybe we're just going to get a whole bunch of 48 Denvers. So I got something to look at here. So I've been looking at the 1988s to look for the reverse design change, where you're trying to look for the hook G. But I noticed this die crack that runs across the back of it. It starts on this pillar, and then just goes right across the coin. Basically all the way to the other side of the Lincoln Memorial. So, cool little die crack. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's pretty cool. Nice little find. Yeah, I haven't really found much in a while. I've been taking a look at... where are we at? We're almost done with row 3. And I've been getting a lot of these early 80s, but just no varieties yet. So every now and then I'll run into something like this, and I'm just kind of unsure of what's going on. Because I've been looking at so many of these 80s, so this is an 85, you get weird things like this. See where the lower half of the D is just abnormally thick, and you see this like separation going across here from that, and I'm like, is that like a die break, or what's going on? Because if it was a repunch mint mark, you would see extra thickness at the top too. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but something's going on, because the majority of the ones you see look more like this, where it'll usually be thin on the bottom or the top, but overall look more or less like that. Let's see if I've got another one maybe lying around I can quickly look at, maybe like this one. Yeah, we were getting a bunch of 85s in this one. So this one's a little bit worn, but this one just, I don't know, abnormal thickness on the bottom, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm not sure. So just one of those interesting things you run into. All right, it's been a while. I am most of the way through row 4, so I have been going through a ton of 80s. The most common date is 83 Denver. Unfortunately, still no varieties, so kind of disappointing there. But we finally found another wheat penny. It's our 4th. What do you think? Do you think it's going to be another 48 Denver? Nope, it's a 48 Philadelphia. It's still a 48. I still think it's probably part of a coin dump then, if they're all 48s. It has been quite a while since I've seen anything really, so we're most of the way done. We're almost halfway through the 5th row. So I've got a 1984 Denver here. So there are, like I said, there's a lot of 84s and a lot of 83s in this one. So this might be nothing, but I do see that line there and the hint on the outside there. Now, a lot of these coins have these outside edges like this just because when it gets punched, because of the copper coating over the zinc, things will kind of tend to spread. That's pretty common to see. I'm not sure about that shelf on the inside though, because I have seen a number of mint marks that are this variety of mint mark, the kind of 83, 84, where they're really thick and they have a small hole in the middle, and sometimes they'll have like this shelf along the inside. So that line might just be part of that shelf, but maybe there's a double punch and that's part of it, and that on the outside might be part of it. It doesn't match anything they have on the website, so if it is a repunchment mark, it's not one they've logged, so it probably isn't. But just like before, because I don't know, I'll hold on to it, and it'll end up going in a bag called my I don't know bag, or maybe bag. Took the last 5 rolls of the box and did them all at once. I figured because I was not finding a whole lot, I would show you kind of what I was seeing as I go through the rolls. So this is kind of a nice example of kind of the averages of things I'd find. So here's your more modern stuff. About half the roll would be, from, around 97, 98 up till the present. And so these are kind of the stacks of things I look for. This stack is actually several different years where everything is kind of on the back on the Lincoln Memorial. And then you get a few in the mid-90s. Usually I'd get 1 or 2 1992s, so that was unusual. I didn't get any in these last 5 rolls. But this is the other half of the roll. You'd get a whole bunch of 83s and 84s, and then you get some 86, 88, 89. That was the most common. A few 82s, 85, 87. So this is a pretty good example of the averages I was dealing with. So I was looking through a ton of 83 and 84 Denvers. So just a quick wrap up. We have here the 4 1948 wheat pennies. Glad we got those. That cool 1966 with the die break on the 6. And then a few other random things with die break, weird stuff going on, and possible something repunchment mark, probably not. So Not a very good box, but at least there was something in it. Anyway, until next time, happy coin roll hunting.